The weather is finally getting better, which means only one thing: it's time to get the barbecue out. Now, I grew up in South Africa, so we don't actually call it a barbecue, we call it a braai, but it's the same basic concept. Today's video, we're going to be showing you a couple recipes from my recipe book. I've got 2 recipes in this that I'm going to share with you today. They both are braai spices or spices for when you're going to be grilling meat, that sort of thing. The first recipe we're going to do is on page 143, and it's a basic braai spice. This is one that my family do all the time, and it works great as a base. You can go and modify it if you want to make it a bit spicier, because this one isn't terribly spicy. And then the second one we're going to do, I thought about doing the Bliksem braai spice, but you can find that one for yourself in the book. That's quite a hot one. The other one we're going to be doing is the Peri-Peri salt. Now, this is a nice and easy recipe, but it's fantastic. We'll start off with the chili side of things. Paprika, 20 grams, 20 grams of cayenne powder. Garlic, we're going with 1 tablespoon, which I've already measured out here. Peppercorns, we need 1 tablespoon. Cumin seeds, 4 tablespoons. Salt, we're going with 4 tablespoons. And remember, with the salt, if it's finely grained, then 4 tablespoons is actually going to be a bit too much. So measure it out to around 95 grams of salt. That'll be a better measurement for you. 2 grams of mustard seed. Sugar, you can go with white sugar. I like to add a little bit extra flavor with brown sugar. The last thing is green cardamom pods. There you have it. Perfect braai salt. And let me tell you, this smells incredible. We're actually having a braai tonight, so perfect time for me to test this new batch. For the next one, it's our Peri-Peri salt. And in the recipe book, I do say to use a pestle and mortar. I like that because it gives a nicer texture. These chilies basically don't get ground up as much, so you have nice flakes of it. Completely up to you whether you want to do that. I'm going to go the lazy way today. 30 grams of Peri-Peri chilies. These are from last season, lovely and dry. 1 cardamom pod. I'm going to grind up the chilies first because I want to maintain some nice texture there. The cardamom pod, however, we're going to have to grind up a little bit more. Wow, that's seriously strong. Excuse me. Just taking out the bigger chunks. It's the nice thing with pestle and mortar, you can control this a little bit easier. And you also want to leave those seeds in there. Those seeds are perfectly delicious. By the way, I'll leave a link for this down below. I have a bigger machine as well that I use when I make commercial batches, but this here, it's got a lovely size that you can actually fit quite a lot of spices in here to grind up. We're going to do the same with the cardamom pod. We've got 4 tablespoons of salt, which I have already measured out. I'm just going to add a little bit in there. Now, I don't want all my salt to be finely ground up like this. I want some bigger pieces as well, which is why I am using coarse salt. I'm going to add that in there. Next up, we have 2 tablespoons of dried thyme. So that's going to go straight in. 20 grams of smoked paprika. So 20 grams looks to be about a heaped tablespoon. This is half a tablespoon measure. 1 tablespoon of sugar, which I'm using the same brown sugar that we had before. 1 tablespoon of garlic granules. Just remember, if you are using powder instead of the flakes, it's 1 tablespoon of flakes, but for powder, I'd go about 3/4 of a tablespoon. Or if you like garlic as much as me, then yeah, add some more garlic. It's not a problem at all. So we're gonna add that in, and we're pretty much done. Oh, man. The chili fumes are in force. And there you have it, your perfect Peri-Peri salt. Again, this works on so many different things. Fantastic on chicken, especially with the thyme mixed in. Really adds a beautiful flavor to your chicken. Oh, it smells so good. You want to let this marinate a little bit with the salt for about 30 minutes, and that should be more than enough. You can do it for longer, it's really up to you. I like to do it quite a bit longer when I'm doing chicken, but 30 minutes and this will be perfect. So good. Beautiful flavors coming through there. It's just such a good mix of flavors, honestly. Not too much salt, because sometimes you can go a little bit too much salt with these things. There's quite a nice bit of a spice to it from the cayenne. To be honest, I did mix in a little bit of my Ring of Fire, which is like the cayenne, same sort of flavor profile, but a little bit hotter. But that's definitely coming through. But it's not overwhelming. I don't think anybody would have a problem with that heat level. As long as you can handle a little bit of spice, you'll be just fine. But that tastes absolutely amazing. If you do want to buy this instead of making it yourself, I'm going to be putting some of this in the store, so you'll be able to buy yourself some ChilliChump Braai spice. And I'll also put in a couple others as well. We have an old favorite, my Killer Cajun spice. That's a lovely Cajun spice mix that I make. The recipe for that is also in the recipe book, and also the Peri-Peri salt, that'll be in the store as well. So go check that out, as well as my sauces and that sort of thing. And also for the recipe book, it's not just dry spices, that's only a small part of it. There are plenty of recipes for hot sauces, things like that, so go check that out too. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Until then, stay spicy.